Okay, the Little Ellen Show. So I've filmed this video several times. The latest one I did was like 30 minutes long, and I realized that's terrible and way too long and way too artificial. So this is going to be a more natural, more organic view of the show, in my opinion, and just kind of an overall analysis of the first season. I didn't see the last two episodes. I couldn't find a torrent for them, and I could not be bothered to look. It's a terrible show. But essentially, The Little Ellen Show came out in 2021, and it's just another excuse for Ellen DeGeneres to put her name onto something. Because, yeah, she decided she needed an animated kids' TV show to help, I guess, get her name back in the spotlight. I mean, granted, cartoons take time, so there's a good chance this was in production for a while before. But she and Warner Brothers still decided it was proper time to release it. So that's kind of unfortunate. But the show revolves around a little Ellen who's of 7 years old. And honestly, it has nothing to do with Ellen DeGeneres. The whole point that it's named after her is just to go with shows like Ellen's Great Design Challenge, the sitcom Ellen, and the show, The Ellen Show. Because, as a narcissist does, puts their name on literally everything, including now a show for preschoolers. Um, but there's several characters in the show who have no relation to anyone else, right? There's a character named Becky, who's supposedly the cousin of Ellen DeGeneres, who does not exist. They live with Gramsci, which is their grandmother, who also is not a record of because Ellen didn't live with her grandmother at the age of 7. There's a friend named Freckles, who could have been real, I don't know. But all these characters have nothing to do with Ellen DeGeneres, and the only similarity there is, I guess, Ellen is kind of like a hostess in certain parts of the episode, just trying to like present because she's an attention-seeking 7-year-old, which is normal. But there's nothing really special about it and makes it Ellen DeGeneres. The theme song is even more obnoxious because it's literally just and that annoys the ever-loving crap out of me because it's unbearable. And she just like points to herself like, oh my god, that's me. And I don't know, I just don't like it. The show has a very simplistic plot, which makes sense because it is aimed towards preschoolers. So each episode has a lesson for people to learn. Some of them are just like point blank in your face. They'll just keep repeating the same sentence. Like the first episode, they use this phrase a lot.
Plans change, and that's okay. Plans change. It's not always a bad thing, This was a part of the plan.
Well, Ramsey, sometimes plans change.
Which is also kind of annoying because in a later episode, they use the same phrase for a different plot.
Sometimes mistakes can lead to something great.
So it's essentially the same theme for a different episode, and that kind of is annoying to me. Another part that I really don't like about the show is it looks so cheaply made. It's got a terrible animation style from some studio that also made the Cuphead show, which I also was attempting to make a review on. I didn't enjoy it. A lot of people did. That's besides the point. But so they're capable of more. They just have a very poor style choice when it comes to Little Ellen. They don't outline any of the characters, so it's really hard to see them against the backgrounds. Speaking of the backgrounds are so stale and ugly and stagnant, and none of them make any sense. It's supposed to be New Orleans in the 1960s, and there's no indicating features of this. No one speaks with a New Orleans accent except Gramsci, who doesn't even speak with a New Orleans accent. She just speaks with an accent. And that's really bad.
Is there anywhere your streetcar can go faster?
Of course it can.
Yay!
But I gotta respect the speed limit.
The show also just utilizes a lot of really cheap tactics to make things look like they're supposed to be. And it just kind of shows, right? There's this scene where Becky flips her hair and you can see her hair move, but the shine they put on it doesn't. Ellen's shirt has an inverted rainbow on it, which I can't tell if it's intentional or not. They have a rain part where they have a rain overlay instead of actually animating the rain. And I kind of get that rain's hard to do, but instead of a loop of like normal raindrops, they have raindrops and dash lines just going over the screen. and it looks so awful. And it just kind of gives off the impression that someone at the animation studio is just trying to signal SOS in Morse code, because it's so painfully obvious it's not rain, and it's just ono constantly. The cloud in this scene, and yes, it is a sentient cloud, who's the king of the clouds, who always rains on the parade, which is it's another thing that I'm not going to get into because it'll take too long. But it moves back and forth on a rig that's just going horizontal. There's no like organic motion of like a cloud sweeping across the sky. It's just going left, and then it goes right, and then it goes left, and then it goes right, and it's just really obvious to see. Ellen also has eyeliner for some reason, which wouldn't be too big of a deal, but it's in such stark contrast to her character, who is so pale and white compared to every other thing, that she often just kind of either blends into the background, or she is the background, or she stands out too drastically against it, because they have no sort of like a gradient to blend her in to a normal looking human. Little Ellen isn't even that bad. It's just not entertaining. It's also a musical, which I guess is to help appeal to the younger audience because they want to have some sort of fun little thing for the children to watch. But the music isn't good. It's not catchy. The melodies suck. And I can't think of any small child that would actually like the songs, because they're not like silly and fun to jump to. They're just trying to be real songs. There's a scene where Ellen tries to reference Cats, and I can't think of any child that's going to get that. And I'm sure it's for the adults in the room, but I can't think of any adult either that would genuinely enjoy that reference, because no one liked Cats. It was so disgusting to look at. And honestly, this one's also pretty horrific to look at, and I can't decide which is worse. You have CGI Cats, you have Ellen DeGeneres Cats. It's too many cats. That's why I'm a dog person. That's why my dog's over there. She's actually sleeping right now. I'll probably show y'all a clip of her after I shoot, because she's really cute. There's a couple of sequences that just don't make sense, that they just kind of throw in there, or they loop a lot just to reuse animation cells so they don't have to animate new ones, and that's kind of annoying. There's a scene where Becky runs to Ellen through parkour, and I'm here for it. And I honestly, it's kind of enjoyable, but it's so random and just thrown out of left field, it doesn't make sense why it's there. There's a character named Helen. Yes, her name is Helen, and she's supposed to be the alternate version of Ellen, I suppose. But that's a really annoying episode because A, Helen's just a copy of Max from Stranger Things. She has red hair, she's from California, she skateboards, she's verbatim the same character. And then in that episode, Ellen gets jealous of Helen. And so Becky and Freckles, yes, his name is Freckles, try to cheer up Ellen by using the term Ellen as a way to refer to something kind, like an adjective version of it. And that's really gross because anyone who knows of Ellen knows what she's done, and it just feels like a slap into the face to the viewer, because the kids aren't going to know what that means, and the adults will, and that's just kind of douchey.
We were being nice to Helen so she wouldn't feel nervous, just like you said.
Which was so Ellen of you, wanting to make sure Helen had a good weekend. I mean, I have never heard anything so Ellen.
The show's not bad. It's not great. I can see where preschoolers would like it. I'm sure they do. But it just feels like a never unnecessary thing to add to Ellen's reservoir. And honestly, it's doing just about as well as all her other shows. So she's on track to do a never hit success. And I'm excited. Season 2 came out March 3rd, and I will be watching that if y'all make me. Please don't make me. Alright, that was the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This was the third go-round, but the first that y'all are going to see. So let me know your thoughts and feelings on it below. Special thanks to Emily, who has been there for my entire process of this and has been extremely helpful. And yeah, leave a like, comment, let me know. Bye, y'all.
I'm so glad there's only one of me.